this slightly more complicated version, I'm going to show you how to create a sphere, make the image, the sun, a material on the sphere, so it's now a 3D object, and then move that across the screen. So our first job is to create a dummy to work with, and we'll call that dummy sun. Just going to place the dummy where I want it. So let's place that along just there, look. And I'm going to use the import tool to import a sphere mesh. So we use the import scene, standard files and formats, and built into your assets table, assets folder, is one called sphere mesh. Now there is a plane sphere, so a square, so you could do it as a flat sphere, flat mesh, but we're going to do it as a sphere. I'm going to place that roughly in the same place as my dummy. There we go. So it's roughly around the same sort of area. There we go. And I'm going to put that inside the dummy. Now I'm just going to make it a little bit more round. So I'm just going to scale it a little bit, just to make it a little bit more football shaped. Looks a bit stretched to me. Maybe it's just me. There we go. That'll do. So I've got my sphere inside my dummy. So now I need to make a material. So materials, add a new material. I'll call this material Sunny. Save the material file, edit the material, oops, sorry, wrong, edit the material, and then we're going to map that picture that we created. So we're just going to use the ambient one. There's the yellow square. Open that, and you can see it's mapped it onto the image. If it used a transparent background, you'd have had gaps in here, which is why we've left it as it was. So that will do. We'll apply that to the image, to the objects. There we go. So that's now applied to the object. So there's our sphere. Our map, our material. So now it's just a case of opening the scene, going to objects, object track, make sure it's the dummy that we're moving, turn loop off, add our 3 keys, last key at 100%, middle key at 50%, and then we can position what we want. So that's staying there. The center point, we want it to be, let's say there, and up a little bit, and the final point, we want it to be, let's say there. Obviously we're now working in 3 dimensions, so it's a little bit more complicated and you need a little bit of tweaking to get it exactly as you want. I've got it set to play and initiate. You could do that, or you could have it play after a timer or play after a button click. So I'm just going to press OK on that, and then fingers crossed, when I play it, we've got our thing. And as you can see, it rotates it slightly as it's going around. I don't think I've got my circle quite round enough. That will just be a case of going into the shape and then sorting it out with the scaling. And there we go. Rotating 3-dimensional sun. found this useful, feel free to buy me a coffee.